We're ready.
You're recording and I'm leaving.
Okay.
Okay.
I am calling to order the January 12th, 2022 Farmers Market meeting. First meeting of the year. We'll take roll call. Lori Harry, Market Manager, present.
Jamie Allen, Assistant Market Manager, present.
April Brunel, the Treasurer, is present.
Pam Ball, Secretary, present.
Helen
Granger, member, present.
I believe Pete is present as well. Pete Harry, committee member.
I see his phone.
Yep. So he's probably driving right now.
Oh, so he's probably listening.
So everyone but Amy is present.
Okay.
All right. So does anybody have any informational items?
Oh, I don't know if it's an info item or old business, but if you happen to see any farmers market signs on the sides of the roads, if you have room in your car, you might want to grab them.
I know. I keep driving by one and I'm like, I got to get them all.
You guys hear me now?
What?
I'm sorry?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know if this is the right time, but did April get her question answered regarding the money that was in the box? I feel bad because I was there.
Oh, it's okay. Lori told me that most likely it was somebody was paying something like a vendor fee, but I just deposited it and I'll just put it under question vendor fee. So I have it in my books and we have the money, so it's not lost.
Okay.
I'm almost not, I'm 99.9% sure a vendor said they were going to pay the last day. I'm not quite, I don't remember who it was, but I believe it was a vendor fee.
Yeah, no, somebody came up and definitely paid a vendor fee, but I thought she paid by check. But so I was surprised. But anyways, I do remember somebody coming up and paying the vendor fee while we were there.
Anything else?
No.
Okay, so did everybody get to review the minutes of September 22nd? Wow, we haven't had a meeting September. There's no way, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. All right. I will make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of September 22nd, 2021.
I'll second. Oh, I'll just say aye then.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All. Anybody against?
I wasn't there, so I'll abstain.
Okay, so motion moved.
Yep.
I am trying to find something on my computer.
Well, it's okay. I'll just say to report, I was just going to bring up the money's all been deposited. We have a good amount of money in our cash box to start the summer. We have $230. Everything else has been deposited. All of the checks and gift cards and cash that was for the food pantry was delivered to them in person on Tuesday.
Do you know how much total?
Yeah, I think it was like 600.
Really?
Have it. Yeah, let me pull up my spreadsheet and I will let you know exactly. Give me 1 sec.
Yeah, there were some people that brought some pretty significant, including some gift cards.
I think the gift cards were 200 or 250. I'm going to pull it up as soon as I find this silly thing.
I guess in hindsight, I guess we were somewhat unprepared to keep records we have to probably do a better job, you know, in the future, you know, in terms of, because
It was $600. It was $600 in cash and $200 in gift cards, and then $250 in checks. So that's $6, $7, $8, $9, $1,050.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So again, I'll say it again. It was $600 in cash, $250 in checks, and $200 in gift cards.
That's fabulous.
Yep. So it's all
Okay.
written down in my little sheet.
Yeah, that
That's
left
amazing.
everybody being sick and pretty much bailing on a Friday was not. Normally we are more responsible with that sort of thing.
don't worry about it.
So it's all
So
set. They have it. They're logging it in. They have it on their records too. So we're good. So that's the only things I wanted to make sure I let you guys know that we're all in a really good spot to start the summer.
April, just,
excellent.
April,
Do you know
just for-
and
Wait, what was
And-
that? I got two different questions coming at me.
Oh.
This is Pam. You said you brought that to the food pantry on Saturday, the 8th?
No, I brought it on Tuesday, yesterday.
Yesterday. That was the
That's the 11th.
11th. Okay.
I'm looking at my calendar above my computer. Yep, the 11th.
Okay, great.
April, just for my own edification. So gift cards, do those don't go through the town, they go directly to the pantry?
Right, everything I handed right to the pantry. So I handed
Oh,
them
you
the
did?
people's checks because it was written out to the pantry. So there's nothing I
Okay.
could do with them. The cash, usually we would deposit the cash and then we would write them a check. But since I was giving them the checks and I was giving them the Stop and Shop gift cards, because they were actually little Stop and Shop gift cards, I just gave them everything. But they have a record of it. I have a record of it, and good to go.
all right.
What was your question, Missy?
How do we have an estimate about what's in our account?
I can go peek at the report that she attached, because other than that, I always go by the report. But yeah, I go
Alright.
by the report.
No.
It's easier that way because all of the stuff that I deposited yesterday is not going to get in yet. So we have more than that.
Okay, so comments of committee members, I think we kind of took care of that one already. Unless anybody else has anything to say.
I think
Okay.
we need to start bragging about the $1,000 for the food pantry on Facebook.
Yes, we will.
Now that we have a total.
Yes, so
Yes, and you
All
can say over 1,000 because it was over 1,000.
I will post something on Facebook for the morning. Food pantry.
Hey, Lori,
Yes, sir.
now that Linda's not doing our Facebook page, who's doing it? Are you doing that?
I have been doing it. That is one of the things we will discuss actually at our next meeting.
Okay, all right.
So, market manager report. So the town, unfortunately, we lost Linda, which leaves a big hole on our committee. She was our town liaison. But we have a new town liaison. Whit Irwin has taken the vacant seat on town council, and he volunteered to take the position on the market committee to be our town liaison. Whit wanted to be here tonight. He actually sent me an email to read to everybody. To the Ledyard Farmers Market Committee. I regret I am unable to attend the special meeting, January 12th, 2022. I have conflicting meetings today and must instead attend to the town administration committee at that time. I'm excited to be your liaison with the town council, having volunteered for the position. I firmly believe that Ledyard has the most brilliant and well-supported farmers market in the region, if not the state, and it's all your effort and creativity that continues to make it so dynamic and vibrant. I'm extremely supportive of your work and want to see it thrive for the future. My wife and I have made it a point to bring several out-of-town guests to see our wonderful market because market days are such a town event. While I cannot make this particular meeting, rest assured I will be as often as I can for the duration of my tenure. Respectfully, Whit Irwin, Ledyard Town Council. So
Wonderful letter. Wonderful.
yep. So I'm excited. Whit is a really good guy. He's excited to be on the committee. So that's a plus. And I'm sure he will do what he can to help us. So it's going to be a new learning experience for both of us with Whit. And Whit with the market. So there's that. I also was told today there will be a celebration of life for Linda. It's going to be April 2nd at the high school. There's no time established yet, but when I find out, I will let everybody know somehow and make sure everybody knows. And that's really all I have to report right now. Amy Uris has joined us. Hello, Amy. So Jamie is in Florida, and I know Jamie wanted to discuss, we're going to start with under business of the meeting, we're going to discuss and possible action on the motion to approve. Oh, no, wait. Number 3, discussion and possible action regarding a stipend to pay the market manager. So, Jamie, are you good to?
I am. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so it was discussed. I actually discussed it with Mayor first, and I also mentioned it to Lori. We talked about the involvement and the amount of work it takes to be the market manager. Everybody knows that Lori actually has a job now, and it's become very, very, very difficult for her. So when Linda was alive, Fred, Linda, and I talked about would it be reasonable to start paying the market manager a stipend for each market in the summer market, because it is it's a difficult job and it is a job. You know, there are towns that pay their staff to run the farmers market. And between Fred and Linda, they had actually come up with a stipend. I believe it was either $100 or $120 per market to pay as a stipend to the farmers market, and that money would come out of the farmers market funds. And so that is something that I wanted to discuss with the committee, because I think it's important, particularly because this job is literally a job. It is not somebody that somebody can just volunteer and be lackadaisical about. It's something that you have to have a full commitment. It takes many, many, many hours a week, if not a full-time job during market season. And I think everybody on that committee knows that kind of commitment is involved. So I would like to have a discussion about a potential stipend for the market manager, whoever that may be, during the summer market.
I agree.
Open to discussion.
I totally agree.
I don't know who's saying I agree.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bill Thorne.
Bill is.
Okay.
I agree as well. Pete Harry.
Pete here. Yeah, sorry, April, Amy, Pam, do you guys have any opinion on that?
I think
I
it's a
agree.
great idea, and I do know that other areas do it as well. So it's it's normal.
Right.
I agree.
Who said I agree?
Amy.
Ellen, what about Ellen?
Yeah, I'm fine. If it's customary, then there's no reason not to do it. It's a really hard job.
It is very difficult. And like I said, Linda and I'm going to start traveling while you guys are talking. And like I said, Linda and Fred were the ones that had talked about it originally, and they were both, they both thought it was a good idea. As far as the amount, again, I don't know if it wants, 100, 120. I can't remember exactly what Fred had figured out. I know he talked to Marcia about it as well, and he and Marcia actually went over the amount that would be a reasonable amount.
When so Fred and I think he said 150, him and Marcia had said, but I'm not 100% sure. That's what he told me. So I think out for sure talking to Fred.
Yep. Okay. And that sounds about right to me. Like I said, because I'm not at home, I don't have any of my notes with me. Sorry, I'm in a restaurant now.
Weather of Florida, we sit in the frigid cold.
So anyway, I don't know if I think we should make a motion about it. So I would like to make a motion to pay the market manager a stipend each market for the summer market for $150 per market.
This is Bill
That's the
Thorne.
motion that's on the floor. Any discussion?
I'm all for it. This is Amy.
Okay. So are we ready to call a vote?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm.
Yes, you have. Yeah, you have to abstain. So all in favor?
Aye.
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 Bill Thorne, aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, so moved. Okay, so moved.
Right.
So we can move on to the next topic. Lori, just if you could, if there's anything that I need to discuss, just because I'm sitting at a dinner table now.
I have
don't
I have
think you
one question.
might have to.
If it's a rain out, are you still paid?
Well, there you go. That is a good question. That's nothing we never talked about that.
I talked to Fred about it, and we were discussing, because of the amount of work that actually goes into getting ready for that day, and we don't call the rain on the market. He said that it would still be fair to be paid.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, if we cancel days in advance, maybe, but like I said, I feel awkward. So.
Oh, it makes sense. You're still doing all the work, whether it's canceled or go.
You got to call it. So that alone deserves $150.
When you're getting settled in and checking all that out, can I bring you any bottled water, tap water?
Yeah. Jamie, can you mute?
Tap is good for me. I'm sorry. Did somebody say my name?
I said, would you mute?
I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right. You're muted. No. Okay. All right. So you're not muted.
Stop yelling.
Summer business. One of the things we need to do, Mayor Fred talked to me. We borrowed the gazebo from the Ledyard Fair. The gazebo needs to be moved back to wherever Ledyard Fair is now storing their belongings. So we are going to have to allocate money to pay someone to do it. I believe the mayor may have someone in mind to do it. Jamie.
Okay, so Floyd's can do it for $250.
Oh.
Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was the fact that, no, I'm good. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the fact that the market, the fair still doesn't even have a location. I would like to, before we let them take it away or pay to have it taken away, I think we should ask them if we can rent it from them for the season.
Is the new gazebo not going to be done then for the summer?
It is, but if you think about where it's going to be located, I don't know if it's the best spot. So yeah. What would it make sense to do this? Would it make sense to make a motion for say $300 to have it moved? And then we can go over there and see where the new gazebo is going to be. And if it works for us, then we have the gazebo moved. And if it doesn't work for us, then what we can do is ask them to rent it.
Is
that possible?
Anybody else?
Should we reverse it and make a proposal to rent it and then?
Well, I would wait for the next time. I would kind of wait and see if we need it or not. I would make the proposal to have it, to allocate the funds to move it. Because they may not even decide to rent it. So, I mean, and that's not something we need to hurry on.
Right. So the new gazebo is going to be over by the new picnic area, right?
Right. Which
is it going to be at the far end, or is it going to be at the end where our shed is?
I don't know that.
We don't know yet. I know that there was even some discussion on the kind of gazebo that they purchased, Public Works purchased versus what we actually were thinking was going there. So I think that there's some discussion still going on there. So I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
That's why I think that we should approve, say $300 to have it moved, but then start having a discussion with the mayor to see where, you know, what the plan is, and then possibly asking to rent the one that's already there.
Yeah.
I mean, because the reality is no matter what, they'd still only need it for September, even if they did have the fair. So why couldn't we have it in June, July, and August if they would allow it?
So this is Bill Thorne. I mean, you know, so let's say we pay $300 to have it moved. I mean, what's the value of the gazebo? I mean, could we offer them just to buy, you know, since it's portable and the other one's going to be permanent, that might be something that it would be a good idea to have down there. And, you know, we buy it for $250, $350. You know, if we're going to pay $250, just have it moved, we might as well just maybe offer them something to just buy it, because since they don't have any place to put it.
I don't think that we should do anything like that until we know what the town wants to do, because the town really has the right, you know, like they already have, they're supposed to have a huge gazebo that's going up. So I don't think they'd want two on the property.
Okay.
So I think we should,
a lot of property.
I think we, well,
what about,
is,
I mean, they could move that gazebo and, you know, I'm just saying, potentially into the upper green.
Bill, so when I talked to the Ledyard Fair, I had asked them about buying that gazebo and they will not sell it. It was made by one of the members for their daughter, and there's some other specs that, and as of this past summer, they would not sell it to us.
Okay.
Maybe things have changed, but as far as I know, it was a no, because I had offered the money first.
How much is a new gazebo?
I don't know. We'd have to look into it. There's different types. Really, I want to hold off on that just until we see what's actually going on with the grounds, because it's not like it's an immediate necessity.
Yeah, and they could be about $2,500 to $10,000. So I think it's really big. Yeah,
I was going to say maybe it would be a good project for a Boy Scout, for Eagle Scout, but that's a lot of money. At, you know, $5,000, $10,000 for a gazebo.
So
I didn't know how big you wanted it, like the one that's there now.
Yeah, that's fine. From what Fred showed me, the other gazebo is going to be very big, and I say we wait, see where it's going, and if we have to move things around a little bit, then we move things around a little bit.
Okay.
And just even see if it's going to be done for the summer. So I just want to wait. I am going to make a motion to allocate $300 to pay Floyd's to move the gazebo back to Ledyard Fair property when the time comes.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Passed. The next thing I would like to discuss is market dates for 2022. So there was, Jamie and I had been throwing a few ideas around. One was starting a little bit later and going through September. Another one is instead of 16 weeks to shorten it to 14. So if we were to do 14 weeks, the best option would be to start June 15th and go through September 14th. That would be 14 weeks. Or we could do 16 weeks and we could still do the 15th through the 28th of September. That's the last week of September. Or we could do June 1st, which is the first Wednesday, the first day of June, June is 5 weeks through September 14th.
I would not be in favor of going any later in September. We had great attendance this year, but there are also there's also the first two markets after school started were pretty slow.
I have to agree, as a vendor, the sales in June are.
You're cutting out.
I'm sorry?
You were cutting out.
I would say that as a vendor, the sales in June are the best, because as July and August roll around, the other markets are starting, and when the temperature is really hot, people don't come out. And then the attendance drops off after September.
All right, so.
This is Bill Thorne though, but I mean, what I saw was that when we transitioned to the harvest market, I mean, you know, I look at it from a produce standpoint, I guess, as much as anything. And there was still a huge, you know, amount in demand for produce. And it's, I mean, September is still a very vibrant time for produce. And in June, when we first started the market, you know, there wasn't much. So I sort of am in favor of, you know, moving it into September, and if need be, even shortening it in June.
Noted.
I guess my counter argument to that is that's 2 booths out of 30. So the other 30 people can still stand to benefit from the increased attendance. The meat guy, the cheese guy, the pickle guy, all the bakery people.
Okay, well, this is Bill Thorne. I mean, one of my feelings, and I could be totally wrong, but putting on the harvest market is a lot more dynamics than putting on the summer market. I could be wrong. I don't know whether other people feel that way. So, I mean, you know, maybe we want to start it at the same time, but end it later, and then look at shortening or modifying the harvest market.
So the reason why I thought about shortening it to 14 weeks is Jamie and I are the ones who are there at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, setting people up and doing that 16 weeks in a row. By like week 12, I was ready to drop, and it's exhausting. And we need to, at our next meeting, my plan is to talk about specific jobs and divvy them up more. Paula did say she would take on doing the promotions. So, because that was killer on me doing that, you know, for the, on top of everything else for the fall. But if we were also talking like maybe Bill, if you wanted to like do the beginning half, like where Jamie and I could rotate being there at 1 o'clock, maybe you could be there at 1 o'clock, and like where Jamie was like telling people where their spots were or whatever, you could do that, you know. So we want to try and divvy it out, but make it less exhausting for everyone.
Well,
Amy,
okay, this is just an observation. You guys were so organized and so efficient that I was there. I wanted to help, but I didn't know how to help. So yes, I'm willing to do that.
But, and Amy, you were awesome over at the kids booth, you and Ella. So we were talking about letting you run the kids program and coming up with all the crafts, you and Ella, that kind of thing. So I'm just throwing out little things here and there.
Sure.
This is Pam. I'm kind of confused because really nobody's there at 1 o'clock. The vendors start to get there at 2:30. I mean, I'm there at 2:30 with you too, and I help with garbage cans and putting things out and stuff like that too. So, and I know April's there early often too.
Yeah, this is April. I just want to say, We should just have, like we do with the winter market, we have certain people that are in charge for certain jobs, and we'll break up the jobs. We can do that easily. You know, one person or a few people could be there to set up in the morning and have, like, I can even make a list like I did for this winter market. So it'll be a guideline so people could have the list. They know the jobs they need to do, like the garbage, parking, the vendors, that could be its own separate job. And things like that. That way it's easier, it's set up, it's written out, so that in case someone's sick or you're not there or you're both not there for whatever reason, we still have the guideline, we still have the jobs, people can grab it and go. And you don't have to worry about asking what do I need to do? It's written down, it's done.
Right.
So I suggest we definitely write down a guideline, because it'll help everybody. And if you guys want to divvy up the jobs, that's the best way to do it.
Right. Oh, no, absolutely. So the thing with Jamie and I, like, you know, and this is not starting argument or whatever, like, you know, I know you're helping with the garbage can and whatever, and then you go back and set up. But what I'm talking about is when Jamie or I are out with the vendors, we are running back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth for hours with the vendors. And the vendors start setting up at 1:30, 2 o'clock. Jamie and I had to be there between 1:30 and 2 o'clock because that's when they were starting to set up. And I'm just saying it was exhausting, and I don't mind doing it, but I'm just saying it would be nice if we could, like, rotate getting a break. That's all.
And I would just say that, you know, I'm leaving work to do that. And so for me, it does become difficult because, you know, I do have a full-time job just like everybody here. And usually, Lori, just to clarify for me, I was usually getting there between 2 and 2:15. That was the time that I was normally getting there.
Right.
So this
Not
is
to mention
Bill
how
Thorne,
hot it was.
and this is Bill Thorne. Bill Thorne, and I don't have a full-time job, so I can help. I mean, I'm really willing to help a lot. I mean, assuming I'm not traveling, which I can do through a schedule. I mean, I'm willing to help out, but so you give me something to do. You tell me what to do, and I'll do it.
I know you will. Listen, we're gonna do that next month. Next month. But okay, so back to the dates. Do we want to go with 16 weeks or do we want to go with 14 weeks? What's the opinion on everybody?
14.
I'm sorry.
This is Pam. I like 16.
This is Jamie. I like 14 just because of burnout.
Why don't we split the difference and do 15?
Oh, be quiet.
That's a good idea.
It is. I'd say 15.
One of my best.
I like the 14. This is Amy.
If we get rained out twice, which is our average, then we only have 12. At least if we have 16 and we get rained out twice, then vendors have 14 opportunities to sell.
Anybody else? Okay. I'm good with, because with, like Pam said, with the rain out, I'm fine with 16. Do we want to take a vote on it?
Yeah.
All right.
I make a motion to vote on having 16 markets for the 2022 summer Ledyard Farmers Market season.
This is April. I'll second it. And
Thank
also
you.
want to footnote that will also be, we'll make sure you guys don't burn out. We'll have other people help it.
Yes.
And this is Ellen. I was going to second it and ask that we modify it to say that it's June through mid-September, that we're not starting later and picking up more days in September.
Okay, we're going to get the dates after.
Okay.
Right now, to figure out how many markets we're having.
Are we in discussion phase?
All right. All those in favor for 16 markets?
Wait. Jamie had a question. Are we in discussion phase? She wants to know.
We were going to vote on how many markets, not the dates.
No, but this is Bill. She was asking if we were still discussing on between 14 and 16, or maybe 15.
I think Jamie might have something to say.
Go ahead, Jim.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm still stuck on 14 markets. I mean, I know we say we're not going to have burnout, but the reality is this is my, I don't know, 5th year doing this. There's burnout. There's burnout at the end of the season. I understand we might have 2 rain dates, but we might not have any. You know, we don't know that. So I will be there. If we vote for 16 markets, it's 100% fine with me. I'll be there for all of them, but my first choice is 14.
This is Amy. I say 14, but I really, you know, whatever. I'll go with whatever.
Well, this is Bill Thorne. I really hate to, I mean, I can't go against those people that are working so hard. So, I mean, I guess, you know, the people that are doing the hard work are the people I'll support.
I think we're all doing hard work.
Absolutely.
I think that shortening it doesn't benefit the vendors. I think we're not putting the vendors first sometimes. And we're doing this for the vendors. We're not doing it for us. And I'm sure that we can, I mean, in the wintertime, we worked it out so that people only had to be there once a month. I'm sure we can figure something like that out for the summer.
That's never going to happen. Not with having a market as big as it is. That will never happen. And then you vend and April does her balloons, and that takes 2 of us out. So I don't care about being there. We're all there, and that's fine. That's not even the question. And I think we do go out of our way for the vendors. I mean, we're volunteers. Yep. I mean, for a town that volunteers their time, I think we've gone above and beyond for vendors. I think sometimes you might have to take yourself into account so that you're not ready to bang your head against the wall. But okay, I'm going to make a motion to have 16 markets for the Ledyard Farmers Market Summer 2022 season.
That motion is already on the floor by me, seconded by April.
Okay, well, there you go. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Bill Thorne, aye.
Okay, so I need to know for notes. So Bill,
Everyone.
April,
Lori.
everyone was a yes?
No, Jamie's a no.
Oh,
Jamie's a no.
Jamie's a no, and I think April's a no.
No, I was a yes. I second it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
So
I'm the only no. Everybody else is a yes then.
The cheese stands
I
alone.
actually didn't say anything because I'm really ambivalent. I personally would like 14, but I do see the other perspectives.
Yeah, I see both perspectives too, and I'm just choosing 14.
I would go with 14 just for my own sanity and situations.
All right, so then you're opposed. Amy's opposed. Amy?
I would do 14, but if it's 16, I'm okay with it too. But yeah, 14.
I need a yay or a nay.
Nay.
all right, we're tied.
That's 3 against. There couldn't be a tie.
We're tied.
Four. The ones for it were me, Lori, Bill, and you, Pam. That's 4 for it. Again.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Pearl?
April.
Hi, Pearl.
Hey, Pearl.
There's 8 of us on the committee. It was 3 no. 5
Yes.
yes.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was thinking of the attendance before Amy got here. So yeah, no problem. So the no's are Jamie, Ellen, and Amy.
Correct.
Okay, great.
All right. So the motion passes 16 weeks. We can always take vacation days.
I think everybody should take vacation days.
So now the dates. If we go from August or from June 1st, 16 dates would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Would be June 1st through September 14th. If we start June 15th, we would go through September 28th.
This is Bill Thorne. I vote for the later start and later finish.
I would vote for the early start and the early finish because it's dark. Even though there's even though there's lights under the pavilion, it's.
I already talked to Mayor Fred about that. He's putting spotlights outside.
Well, and the parking lot's lit now too, right?
The parking lot's horrible. Those solar lights don't work for a hill of beans. But Mayor Fred is having spotlights put on the side of the pavilion that the tennis court is on and where most people enter the farmer's market. So there will be spotlights out there.
So this is Bill. I mean, this is just a throw out question. As it gets later in the season, can we terminate the market earlier?
It seems like if we do it later, there's so many more like families that their kids have to be home earlier for school.
No, I mean, start at the same time, finish it earlier.
So,
and that's when like all that sports start up and all that stuff. I don't know.
So this is Pam. We had to deal with this when we had the equine virus issue. It's really hard to change the time of the market because you can't get the news out to everybody. And so people are going to be there at 6:45 and the market's going to be closed.
Pete, what were you going to say?
My thing froze.
Okay, so what were you going to say?
Oh, wait, I'm back. Can you hear me? Oh, so you said that the two options were a June 1 start or a June 15 start. Is there an option to start, split the difference again and start June 8th and run to a week shorter?
Yeah, absolutely. So
maybe that'll make everyone happy. A little bit of compromise on both sides.
So we'd go June 8th through the 21st.
I think that's a great idea.
That's fine.
I think June 1st to the 14th works better.
Oh.
This is Jamie.
Yeah.
I personally prefer June 14th. June to September, whatever. Just because I have stuff going on at the end of the month, but that's just me.
So you want June 1st through September 14th.
And the other option was, can you say it again? Sorry, it's somebody talking to me.
21st.
Okay, you've cut out. Can you say it one more time?
So June 1st through September 14th, or June 1st. Oh no, I already said that. Or June 8th through September 21st.
Yeah, either is fine with me. I was thinking of a different. Yeah, either is fine with me.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else want to say anything, or should we vote? All right. I will make a motion to have the 2022 Summer Farmers Market from June 1st through September 14th, which is 16 weeks.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Bill Thorne, aye.
Jamie Allen, aye.
Lori
Pete Harry, aye.
All right.
Aye.
I'm an aye.
That passed unanimous. Next meeting, we can vote on themes. So get your ideas ready, and we're trying to make themes more vendor friendly. So keep that in mind. All right. So the next priority thing is vendors and vendor applications. So the pricing that was done in the beginning was set so that it was low enough that we could draw interest into the market. I do not think that's an issue anymore. I also think it is time to raise our prices because we do a lot of work going into the market and we do a lot of work for the vendors. And we are bringing in a lot more people. We've brought in 1,200, 1,500, 2,000 people this summer. So I think that we should raise our prices. As of right now, vendors were paying about $9 a market if they were full-time. They were paying about the same for part-time. And then guests would pay $25 per market. My thought is we raise it to $15 a market. So it would be $240 for 16 weeks, which is a 7% raise, which I don't think is outrageous. Like I said, we haven't reworked our prices in quite a while. So it would be $240 for full-time, $120 for part-time. And then we do $30 for a guest spot up to 3 markets. The other thing we were talking about is Jamie and I is like New Park Brewing. They park their van behind their spot and it takes up quite a bit of space. So we were talking about adding on an extra $10 per market to have your vehicle parked pretty much in another spot. These are just ideas. So I don't want to work on food trucks yet. I'd like to get like vendor pricing done first and then go to food trucks. And then stay with the $5 for electricity per market.
Is Park Brewing the only one that does that scenario that you outlined?
Jamie, did anybody else do it?
I'm sorry, did anybody else do what?
Use their vehicle, work out of their vehicle besides New Park?
New Park and starts with a B. Not Brewster's. They were part-time. They were on the other side, so their truck could be up behind them. Was it Pickles, Brenton Farms? But New Park was really the only one that has like, he has like a food truck size van. You know what I mean? He wasn't a car that he was as a vendor, you know, he could run out to his car. He has a full size, like food truck type of vehicle. And that I think he needs to be charged more, or he needs to start working out of it, because he basically has a setup where he's got the entire beer truck, food truck thing. And then he's got a tent in front of that. So if you think about how big that spot is that he needed, and plus electricity. So what I'm saying is he was taking basically 2 spots, and anybody else that takes 2 spots is charged double, right? Charlotte's charged double. The Smiths is charged double.
Actually, here's the thing. That's another thing we need to talk about is if people want a larger space, then maybe like if they're gonna do, instead of 10 feet, 15 feet, then they need to pay for a part-time and a full-time, because it's getting difficult to fit everybody in there, and just giving them. Oh, also Charlotte, I saw her in the store a few months ago and she told me they may be retiring. So we might be looking for a new spice person. just on the down low.
I wonder if this also would affect John Fish because he has his boat and his truck. Right? Or does he drop? Does
yeah,
he drop?
drops the, yeah, he's been dropping the truck.
Okay.
He's been dropping the boat. I mean, I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, it sounds like it's something, I mean, they're doing it because we've never said anything that we've never said that they can't do it, right?
Well,
so, I mean, if
New York has to do it because it's a refrigerated truck.
Oh, so they have to do it. But maybe they're doing it thinking, oh, these guys are totally cool with me having, you know,
like we didn't listen. If we thought it was going to be like it used to be, there'd be plenty of room. But
yeah. All right.
Okay, so let's get off the $10 thing, and let's talk about just the full-time, part-time pricing.
So that's a 60% increase. To go from 9 to 15 is $6. 6 out of 9 is a 60% increase.
Jamie, I thought you said it was 7.
It's almost double. It's a 67% increase.
They were paying what? 1.
So 7. Okay, so 7%. A 7% increase from 145 is 155 per season. So 10% of 145 is $14. So if you had $14,
I didn't do the math. Jamie was doing the math.
Okay.
All right. So regardless of the percentage increase, which was wrong.
I think an increase is a good thing, but that did seem
what is full-time paying now?
145. And I agree, that's low.
All right, and then part-time was 85.
Yeah, I think 85 or 90.
No, it was 85.
Yeah, I think you're right, 85.
Well, then I would make it 200 and 100. I mean,
yeah, 200 and maybe 110, because it's
that
more
way full time's a deal.
It's more juggling on the map to do people who are less than full time.
That's fine with me.
And then
yeah, so I would say it'd be 200 for full time, 110 for part time, and you can keep it for 30 for guests. Raising it $5. I don't.
What about 125 for part time?
That's fine.
Anybody? Bueller?
Yeah,
part time means 8 markets.
Yep.
4 to 8. And you know what? The higher price might encourage them to do 8 rather than 4.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I figured if we were going to use the $10 as encouragement to make a deal, why not 125? And then if they do, instead of being a guest for a couple, maybe they'd go part-time.
Although, if you're going to charge $30 a guest, 4 guest spots is $120.
Well, guest spots would be 1 to 3.
Right. So you could do 4 guest spots for 100, or you could pay more it costs you more to do 4 spots than if 3 times.
No, it costs less to do 4 guest spots than it does for part-time, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And that shouldn't be so. So make it 35. Right?
Well, that's an idea.
Jamie and I were even saying 40.
I like 35.
$35 is what it costs to get a table at the flea market in Jewett City. So I don't know. We got about the same amount of traffic as that. It seems like a pretty fair deal. You don't want to go too high.
No. Yeah, no, I think 35 is good.
You could keep 125 and then 35. That'll cut down on the number of guests because
so 200 for full-time, 125 part-time, and 35 for guests.
I don't think it'll cut down on the number of them. It's still a steal. I mean,
no, right, exactly. And we have, listen, it's not like we only have a few hundred people. You know, it's not like we don't have foot traffic to support these people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they have choices. If they don't like the fact that it's $200, well, then you can pay the 125 and be there half the amount of markets.
No, I think this is good.
All right.
Do you want me to make the motion?
Besides me.
Yeah, do it.
This is Pam. I'll make the motion that for the 2022 season, full-time market is $200 for 9 to 16 weeks. Part-time market is $125 for 4 to 8 markets. And a guest spot is $35 for 1 to 3 markets.
I will second it.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Ellen, I'm Ellen, but it doesn't matter to me whoever seconds it.
All right. All those in favor? Lori, Harry.
Aye.
April's aye.
Aye. Go for an aye.
All right. All those against? Motion carried.
Woohoo!
All right. All right. So now here's my biggest peeve about everything. The food trucks and the food truck pricing. The food trucks are selling out every week. And right now, for up to 6 markets, I believe it was, Pam, they were paying $100.
Right. We raised it a little bit last year, but not very much.
Right. Food trucks to be at a market, a festival, a parking lot, a wherever, are usually paying at least $100 per wherever they are, if not more. We are the place to be. We have food trucks who would like to join us up the yin yang. And I think it is only fair that they pay per market. And I think they should pay $75 per market.
I like that.
I just think it's, and it'll weed out the ones who truly want to be there and those who don't. Like, you know, those who were just there because it was cheap. But everybody seems to want to be there. Everybody wants more markets. And this way we can say, all right, it's $75 per market. You know, you can have up to this many. How many would you prefer? Because then maybe we won't have the same pizza person go, I want all 16 markets. Maybe we will, but that's my opinion. I don't know what everybody else's opinion is, so feel free to share.
This is Pam. Just wondering if Chet's would be excluded, right? Or no?
Chet's would be, I do not consider Chet's a food truck.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, this is Bill Thorne. I mean, their whole business plan is based on coming to events like this in order to sell. They don't have the overhead of, you know, having a storefront or anything else. I think that's totally reasonable.
Like I would not charge Chet's $75 per market. That's they're just a regular vendor to me. You know, They set up their tent and that's where they sell from, you know. It's not like they're selling burgers and fries and chicken and you know, to me they're just a regular vendor.
Okay. That was I think the one I was worried about.
Question. that's an absolutely valid, excellent question.
Well, I have a question just because I think we just need to have it written down how we differentiate between a food truck and just a regular vendor. And I'm not thinking against Chet's because I totally agree. Chet's is just a regular vendor, but I'm thinking of East's Catering.
I was thinking about them too.
And anybody like that, or, you know, Yala and those, not that I'm opposed or a yay or nay to calling them whatever. I just think it needs to be discussed so that we're all on the same page.
Yala, I would definitely agree, is not a food truck. Well, that I would agree. I would say it's not a food truck. They don't, I mean, they sell pre-made stuff, but it's not out of a truck. It's not dinner. It's, do you know what I mean?
This is Pam. I think Issa kind of falls in that too. They don't have a truck. They don't take up a ton of space.
I think there's your definition. If you sell out of a truck or a food truck, then you are a food truck. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's a good enough for me. If you set up in a tent, then you're a vendor. If you set up in a food truck, you're a food truck.
Yeah, and no one's going to try to get around it for the $20 or whatever, you know?
Here's where that gets sticky with Issa, though. She uses her vehicle. She has to have her vehicle parked with her tent.
Ah.
She does?
Yes.
So you're going to whack her for the $10 convenience parking fee?
I don't know. That's just...
That's a good idea. So she could be $10 more per market for her vehicle.
Right, which is what we were saying about New Park and...
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
So essentially, she is a food truck. She just doesn't have the truck. She uses her car. If you require something that has 4 wheels on it to conduct your business, then you are considered a food truck then.
But here's the thing. She uses her truck for her trunk of her car for storage, food storage.
Everyone does.
Right.
Oh.
Like, I don't consider her a food truck, but I don't consider her just a, like, Chet sell out of a tent vendor.
No, she definitely falls under the just extra $10. That's all. Yep.
Are those our only concerns? I think those are the only two. Mariano's, I guess there's a truck, so it's a truck.
Ugh, that one sucks.
What if we charge them $10 extra too?
Yeah, but I gotta tell you, they sell out too every market. So yeah. You know what? It's not like it's the winter market. I mean, they sell out every time they're there. So I really don't think $75 is unreasonable.
Okay.
That's 4 of those breads they sell, right? I mean, come on. Right?
Yeah, exactly. That's 4 breads. That's it.
And they sell like 100 of those every market.
Yeah, because I think we bought 75. We still have...
I look like I ate 60 of them.
All right.
I feel like Coventry charges $100 per time.
Huh?
I said, I believe Coventry, the big Coventry market, they charge their food trucks $100 per time.
Oh, I misheard what you said.
So, all right. So I am going to make a motion that for the 2022 summer market season, food trucks will be paying $75 per market that they attend.
April, I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Hi, Jamie Allen.
Bill Thorne, aye.
Pam Ball, aye.
Peter
Ellen.
Harry, aye.
Aye, unless they give me a hard time.
Then you can direct them to me, Ellen.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Yeah,
No,
we should
but
have asked Ellen's opinion on this before we voted, since she does interface with them.
Hey,
They've
Ellen,
never complained. They're always happy to be with us. I mean, we're doubling the price, but most of them are selling out every single week.
we're not even, they were paying,
They were paying below market rate for sure.
yeah. So Amy, did you vote?
Yes.
Okay. So
Ellen, this is Bill Thorne. If you need help with the vendors or the food trucks, just let me know.
I might, because it's been me and Linda.
I got it. I'll help you.
So we'll figure it out. We usually meet around March and get them set up by April, hopefully.
Yeah, I
Right.
can help with that again too.
all right, we can work on that at the next meeting. Everybody's doing whatever. All right. So $75 per market they attend has passed. I'm going to make another motion that vendors who work out of vehicles pay an extra $10 per market for the 2022 summer season.
I second that.
All those in favor?
April's
Hey.
Aye.
Aye.
This is Bill Thorne. Is that well defined? I mean, some people, is that something we are pretty sure we'll be able to differentiate?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we have, we have those who are doing it. Like we said, it would be like ISA, it would be New Park, people who are actually working out of their vehicle and have to have their vehicle with a tent.
Okay.
Because that's almost double the space.
Okay, I'm in favor.
All those against? Motion passed.
Motion passed.
Wow.
All right. Okay, so Jamie is going to work on updating the applications. Pam, is there anything you can think of that vendor-wise we should add to the application?
I think I would leave COVID language in it. Just on the safe side. I think we have a really pretty good application package.
I do too. I said to Jamie, we're not going to have to do too much tweaking on it because we went through it really well last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. If you think of something between now and then, just text me.
Yeah. And if you want me to look at a draft, I'm happy to look at a draft.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're just going to take what we have and then throw some new wording in it. So we'll send it to you.
Yeah.
So, okay. So application dates. Jamie, do you think we could have the applications updated by February 7th? Today is the 12th. That's almost that's a month. Pam, do you think that's a doable thing?
I would say let's do. So the problem is they never apply early. You know, we set this deadline and people.
I've had quite a few people emailing me already asking for.
We could say Valentine's Day. It's a nice, easy day to remember.
Okay, so we'll do February 14th. So do you want to give them 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
3. Some people have to pull a lot of paperwork together, like get their certificates and fill out crop plans and stuff like that.
So then, No, I don't want 2022.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, 2021. I want 2022.
Oh.
It was giving me 2021. All right, so if we did that, if we did Valentine's Day, 1, 2, so March 7th.
I would say March 14th.
So a month?
I would say a month.
For everybody? You want to wait that long for everybody to open it up?
That's fine.
Just because I would rather have them coming in sooner than later.
Okay. I mean, that's just my thought.
Hoping for like to get it done and throw out there on the 7th and go from the 7th to the 28th and open for everybody on the 28th.
Gotcha.
That was my thought.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like we used to do, like, so February 14th to March 7th, March 7th would be priority consideration, and then after March 7th would be secondary consideration, or whatever we want to call it.
Right.
Great.
So, no, I'm just looking at the dates.
That's a Monday.
No, I know. I was just thinking, all right, so we'll say the 14th. And then we open it up to on the 7th to everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 5 weeks?
No. From February 14th to the 7th, right? Are we going the 7th?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's a short one. Sorry.
And then March 8th, it opens up to everybody.
All right. What week are we starting up, Pam? Because Pete has me confused now.
February 14th.
Valentine's Day. Why do I have you confused? I totally agreed with you.
All right. Okay. So we're going to go backwards. And now, does anybody else have anything for summer they want to talk about?
I have a question. Is it going to be paved? Because I saw a paving truck.
So I believe Linda and the mayor had the money allocated from the town budget to cement the pavilion. I didn't know that you guys didn't know that, so I apologize for not thinking about it. But it has been in the works for a few months now. So underneath the pavilion will be cemented.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
And the picnic tables will be there in time?
Yep. I found out about it the day they dedicated the food pantry to Linda. So.
Pam, the pads have already been poured for all of the picnic tables. So if you drive through right now, you can see exactly where they're going to be.
Oh, cool. Okay.
All right. So anything else for summer? All right. So let's go back to the harvest market. So here's my thoughts on the harvest market. My opinion, it was a frustrating absolute failure. It wasn't well attended, and every week I was almost in tears. The vendors were continually not showing up, not calling to let us know. They would cancel the same day, or they just weren't following rules. I mean, and some of them were being, which some of you already know the stories, some of them were being petty and immature. And it was just like having a babysitting job. It was it was really ridiculous. I don't know if I was the only one who was experiencing that. I know a few of you had issues with some vendors, but
this is Bill Thorne. Do we have to decide that now? I mean, that's kind of...
Okay, so we're not voting on anything. We're just talking about it.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's some changes that need to be made in the mark. In that, it may be eliminated. I don't know, but yeah, definitely the structure the way it was is probably not ideal.
All right. So here is, as the market manager, is what I am personally feeling and want to do. So originally, before Pete and Bill joined, and I think it was before Laura left, it was one of the last votes. The committee was originally a committee of 7. And when we voted to put 9 people in, it was with the understanding that there would be one group of volunteers who would deal with the summer market and one group of volunteers who would deal with the winter market, so that you wouldn't have to deal with both. That never came to fruition. And, you know, right now, unfortunately, it's, you know, not possible with this committee. You know, I mean, we all have jobs and, you know, we're all busy and that kind of thing. So I know that for my mental well-being, now that I am working a full-time job, if I'm to stay the farmers market manager, I cannot be a part of a winter or harvest market. It's too much for me to handle, to do year round. I mean, you know, we still have, you know, till hopefully we can figure it out before the summer is over. I mean, if we end up getting somebody else that wants to run it, that would be wonderful. But unfortunately, that person will not be me. We do actually, and I meant to mention this in my market manager report, I believe we are going to have a new member who I thought hopefully was supposed to be here tonight. Kristen Favory, I believe, is going to be joining us as our 9th market member.
Ooh.
What is ooh?
That's great.
Oh, I'm like, I couldn't tell what that ooh was. All right, so either it was voted on last meeting for town council, or it's going to be voted in on the agenda for this one. We're not quite sure. So hopefully at our next meeting, she will be here.
So just
fabulous.
Just for the minutes, she's applied then?
Yes, she has applied, and I believe Jamie, how would you state that? Are they putting her through or voting to put her through, or?
I'll just say the council is considering.
Okay. Or on the council's agenda.
Yeah.
Ella.
Ella. Sure. All right. So we vote on need to submit market dates.
Pick up your mess in there, please.
For our from 2022 to January 2023 meetings. So I was telling Roxanne, because I work Thursday nights, what I would like to do is for February, March, April, and May, we continue having them on Wednesday nights. And then June, July, and August, we can go to Thursday. I will just have to take that evening off or switch or whatever once a month. And then go back to Wednesday nights for
October, November.
Yep, September, October, November, December, and January. I mean, is that way too confusing for everybody or?
Not at all.
Makes sense to me. So basically during the market, we won't be meeting on Wednesdays.
We'll meet Thursday.
We'll meet Thursday. Sounds reasonable.
In this past year, we ended up canceling most of the summer meetings since we were all seeing each other once a week anyway. So maybe, you know, that first, the June one we'll probably have, but I don't think you're going to have to rearrange your schedule a whole lot.
No, I
Lori.
agree.
Yep.
I agree. All right. So do you guys like the first week of the month or do you prefer the second week of the month? I mean, does anybody have any opinions on that?
This is Bill Thorne. I have a couple other committees that meet on the second. Actually, that would be the second Tuesday. So no, that won't be a problem. I'm sorry.
Should we just stick with the first week?
Yeah.
Okay. So it would be February 2nd, March 2nd, April 6th, May 4th. All right. So June 2nd.
Second.
July 7th. August 4th. And that's Thursday. When's our last market? The 14th?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so then it would be September 1st.
Which would be a Wednesday?
No, because we'll still be having the market.
Why don't you move, whatever.
We can always adjust and change to a
yep.
So October 5th, that's a Wednesday. We're back to Wednesdays. November 2nd. That's
December.
December 7th.
Do you say 7th?
Yes, that's a Wednesday. And then I got to find January 2023. Sorry. And then it'll be Wednesday, the 4th of January.
Can't believe we're talking about 2023.
Oh gosh, I scheduled somebody into April at work. All right. No, this is just this year.
Okay.
It still was just icky. All right. So I make a motion to have our regular farmers market meetings from February 2022 to January 2023. The first Wednesday of February, March, April, and May. The first Wednesday of the first Thursday of June, July, August, September, and the first Wednesday of October, November, December, and January 2023.
I'll second. This is Pam.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Hawthorne, aye.
Aye.
All right. So that motion is carried. Pam, I'll go over the dates with you again, just so you make sure you have them.
Yep, I got him. Sounds good.
All right. Does anybody else have any more business they would like to discuss? All right, so the next meeting date is February 2nd, 2022. Would anybody like to make a motion to end this meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I will second.
At 5 p.m. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great.
Have a great night, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Happy New Year.